Ukraine is what we want to talk about now, though. We're going to do that with Phil.Ittner, who's joining us from the Ukrainian capital, Kiev. I believe, Phil, there is a cabinet meeting due today in Kiev. Plenty for them to talk about, not least of all the fact that NATO is now saying this Russian force is very big and ready to go on its border.
Yeah, that's right, Kamal. That is something we've actually been hearing for quite some time from intelligence sources that we have here in Kiev. They say that they believe there are plans that Moscow has to drive into eastern and southern Ukraine and then drive all the way to the western border of this country and link up with that disputed area, that strip of land called Transnistria, where there is already a Russian base. Those citizens in that little strip of land have in recent days been saying that they would like to follow in Crimea's example and reapply for citizenship in with the Russian Federation. Clearly that has NATO concerned, clearly it has Kiev concerned, and we have people on the streets here in Kiev today saying that they are equally disturbed by Russia's military presence and whether or not they have plans to grab more land than just the Crimean Peninsula.
So what can this Ukrainian government do? It's meeting, it's going to talk about it, it's obviously got international support, but no one's really jumping in there, are they?
No, I mean, that is the thing. And we heard that from the NATO officials there saying that the sheer size of Russia's military might on their border with Ukraine would mean that they could basically just roll through if they wanted to. Ukraine's military has been decimated over the last couple of decades since they broke away from, since the collapse of the Soviet Union. They really can't stop the Russian military machine if it decides to roll. There are plans to draw up more national reservists, to bring in a National Guard. They are doing a real strong drive to get recruits in, but you know, these are raw recruits. They are only looking at having signed up within the last week, 2 weeks. They are not trained up. They are not ready to face off against the Russian military. That is something that is widely accepted here, but nevertheless, lots of people are coming out. They are showing support for their nation. They are willing to fight. The question is, can a bunch of conscripts, can a bunch of young men who are just learning how to shoot, are just learning how to use some of that weaponry, going to be able to defend themselves against a well-oiled Russian machine?
Phil, we'll talk to you again later, see if anything comes out of that Ukrainian cabinet meeting. Phil.Ittner's in Kiev for us.